College. Everyone used to think that in order to be successful in life, you weren't going to get far without graduating from college. Although as time goes on, we're seeing just how useless a college or university education is. It just leaves you with a massive debt, and if you don't have any job prospects, it's not like you can return your diploma and get a refund. Some celebrities were smart and knew that they had a specific talent that they could work on, and therefore avoided all those wasted hours in a classroom. Welcome back to Inform Overload. I'm your bacon overlord and host Johnny Rogers, and you're watching the #1 tea-spilling entertainment news show on the internet. Also, if you happen to be new here and you don't want to miss another daily video from us, make sure you tap that subscribe button to join our notification squad. Now, with any further delay, let's get right into today's list of the top 10 celebrities that didn't go to college. In at number 10, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg has had a very long career in entertainment, and she is one of the few people to have actually won an Emmy Award, a Grammy, an Academy Award, and a Tony Award. Whoopi attended Washington Irving High School in New York City, but she always struggled with school because of her dyslexia. She would eventually drop out of high school and therefore never attend college. Instead, she relocated to California and began working odd jobs as she worked her way up the entertainment ladder. Whoopi worked as a bank teller, a waitress, a mortuary cosmetologist, and even a bricklayer before joining a theater troupe called the Blake Street Hawkeyes. From there, she began teaching both comedy and acting classes, and actually, fun fact, she even taught Courtney Love. Her acting breakthrough, though, came in 1985 when she landed a role in Steven Spielberg's period drama film called The Color Purple. In at number 9, Seth Rogen. While Seth Rogen was attending Point Grey Secondary School in Canada, he spent most of his time writing and performing stand-up comedy.
Hello. I'm Seth Rogen, and I'm a former Playgirl centerfold model.
In his younger years, he was even good friends with Evan Goldberg, and the childhood friends even worked on the Superbad script as well as the Pineapple Express script while they were still in high school. Although in 1999, Seth dropped out of school because he had just been cast in the Judd Apatow classic Freaks and Geeks. He has certainly proven over the years that he is a multi-talented writer and actor who never really needed to attend college for a piece of paper that would confirm what he already knew. Instead, he went on to become a goofy comedic staple for a whole generation that loved comedy films. Although Seth warns that he didn't just drop out of school without a plan. During an interview with Business Insider Australia, Seth said, "I worked really hard. It's not like I dropped out of high school and just did nothing. I dropped out of high school and went on and worked on a TV show. We were writing a script all throughout high school. I probably worked harder than most people who were just doing high school stuff, honestly. I did stand-up comedy all throughout high school. I think honestly, if you have a career in mind that isn't academically oriented, then high school is probably not going to lead you to what you want to be." In at number 8, Jessica Alba. After she graduated from Claremont High School in California, Alba decided to skip college and go right into acting classes. She attended the Atlantic Theater Company in New York, and in the year 2000, she would get her first big break at 19 years old. James Cameron decided to cast her as Max Guevara in the series Dark Angel, which did lead to her getting a nomination at the Golden Globes. Although her acting and entertainment success aside, Jessica is also the founder and chairperson of The Honest Company. She has done incredible work with this company with no college diploma, and according to Fortune, her company was valued at $1 billion in 2017. In at number 7, Chris Rock. Most of Chris Rock's early life was chronicled by his hit show called Everybody Hates Chris. The reality is that everybody did hate Chris in school. His parents had to take him out of James Madison High School in New York City because he was being bullied so much. This, however, led to Chris just dropping out of high school and later earning his GED. With no plans on going to college, Chris continued to work on his stand-up material and eventually struck it big. In 1988, Rock landed a big part in the blaxploitation parody in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. That role led to appearances on the Arsenio Hall show where Chris caught the attention of Lorne Michaels. Lorne is the executive producer of Saturday Night Live and invited Chris to a mass audition in 1990 for the show. He then hired him as a feature player, and in 1996, 3 years after he had left SNL, he taped an HBO comedy special that won him 2 Emmys. Not too bad for a kid that was bullied and dropped out of school just in the 10th grade, believe it or not. In at number 6, Katy Perry. Katy Perry, who was first known as Kate Hudson, but for obvious reasons had to change that name for her entertainment career, she actually dropped out of school at 15 years old. When she knew that she wanted to pursue a career in music, she left Santa Barbara dos Pueblos High School. Her family moved around a lot and primarily put Katy in Christian schools that left her educationally stunted. Once her focus became about music, though, she shined brighter than anyone could have ever imagined. Her big break came in the late 2000s with her hits like Hot and Cold and I Kissed a Girl. Despite her success and multiple studio albums, though, Katy still does regret dropping out of school and would eventually get her GED to complete her education. While speaking at a fundraiser for teachers, she told them how much she values education now. Later in her speech addressing the crowd, she went on to say, "I've learned to educate myself at this stage and how to continue my education at any age. I'm going on 30 and I'm still very thirsty for information. On On tour, we go to different museums and get to soak up all kinds of different cultural experiences. In at number 5, Drake. Drake, whose real name is Aubrey Graham, certainly had a strange path through school, but it all led to a massive success. He dropped out of high school to play a high school student in the Canadian TV series Degrassi: The Next Generation. This is also where he earned the nickname of Wheelchair Jimmy because of just what happens to his character on the show. The show, however, also allowed Drake to continue writing and performing music, a talent that was worked into his storyline and would eventually catch the attention of Lil Wayne. According to Rolling Stone magazine, Drake did end up getting his GED in 2012 to finish his education. Regardless of his education though, Drake went on to break a 52-year-old chart record that was previously held by the Beatles. Pretty impressive stuff. In at number 4, Jim Carrey. When Jim was only a teenager, he had to struggle with a life of abject poverty. Although Carrey's father Percy had been a successful accountant for many years, Percy lost his job when young Jim was only a child. The family had no income to support themselves and ended up living out of a van. Things got so bad that Jim had to drop out of high school at the age of 15 to work as a janitor and earn some extra money for his family. Thankfully, his family managed to get back on their feet, and in 1979, Jim moved to Los Angeles to pursue his comedy and acting career. Jim would go on to become one of the biggest stars of the 90s and the 2000s with his hilarious comedic performances. After working in the comedy circuit for a while, Carrey broke out in 1994 with his roles in Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, and The Mask all in the same year. It's a lot of money. In at number 3, Rihanna. Funny enough, Rihanna was a big inspiration for Drake, and he really admired how hardworking she was at such a young age. Born in Barbados, Rihanna dropped out of school at 16 years old and secured a music deal with Def Jam Records. Her talent was undeniable, and instead of waiting to finish school, she just went straight for her dreams. Her hits like Pawn to Replay, SOS, and Unfaithful pretty much established her in the music business. Although much like Jessica Alba, Rihanna didn't let her lack of college education stop her from pursuing business goals. After already having a successful career in music, she went on to create her own beauty line and a lingerie line called Savage by Fenty. For those of you who don't know, her last name is actually Fenty, hence the reasoning for the name on her brand. Today, Rihanna has sold over 250 million records and is by far one of the world's best-selling music artists. In at number 2, Leonardo DiCaprio. When Leo was only in his junior year at John Marshall High School in Los Angeles, he decided to drop out and pursue a career in acting. Eventually, he would get his GED to finish his education, but in 1992, Robert De Niro actually personally selected Leo to play the lead in the film This Boy's Life. This role ultimately led him to playing his iconic character in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. That film also earned him his very first Oscar and Golden Globe nominations, although his role as Jack in Titanic really displayed his acting talents and led to international fame. Fortunately for Leo, not going to college gave him more time to make a career in acting and use his money, power, and influence for helping the environment. Leo has gone to speak at the United Nations and talk more about his efforts to assist in the climate change movement. Last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, Beyoncé. Long before Beyoncé would go on to absolutely dominate the music world and be the first black woman to headline at Coachella, she was debating leaving high school. While attending Elite Elsick High School in Houston, Texas, Beyoncé was making music with Destiny's Child. Eventually, she knew that the only way to make it was to focus on her music full time. So with that, she dropped out and went all in with Destiny's Child, which ultimately led to her super successful solo career. At 38 years old, she is the most awarded artist at the BET Awards and holds 24 Grammys for her music. Along with her music career, she has also had a very successful business career as well. She is the CEO of Parkwood Entertainment and has done many brand endorsements for massive companies like L'Oreal. Today, she is worth an estimated $500 million and accomplished all of that without ever needing to go to college. So yes, show this list to your moms. With that, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled Top 10 Tricks in Movies That You Fell For. Joshua Armillo says, I bet even if they really did coke, they wouldn't admit it. Oh, I bet there was a lot more of that going on, and I'm sure they're never gonna tell us. Maybe it'll come out in a Netflix documentary in 30 years. Eric Farr says, make more like this. No offense, I could care less about influencers of any kind. I passed that message on to our potato queen and we shall see. Steffi Lovely says, inflatables interesting. Is that really cheaper than just using CGI? I mean, you have to buy clothes for the majority of them and the work of blowing them all up, like that's kind of a lot more work. Do they return them after? It's a company that owns them, so movie productions just hire this company to fill the stands for them. Much easier than paying a bunch of visual effects artists by the hour to, fix everybody in. Celeste Jacob says, always knew about the tricks but never knew how. I guess now I know. The more you know. That's what we're here for. To teach you. Jay Marshall says, great video, I'd love to see more content like this. Me too, it was a lot of fun researching and learning all the tricks of the trade. And that has been the top 10 celebrities that didn't go to college. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editors for all of your hard work. If you enjoyed this video, then please show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on today's list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up. From InformOverload, my name is Johnny Rogers, saying until next time, stay classy.